Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, today we're strapping on our golf shoes, but here's the thing. We're going to completely ignore the club head for a bit.
Yeah, sounds counterintuitive, right?
Totally. We're going straight down, like down to the ground,
But
to the real engine behind elite golf power and consistency. We're tackling ground reaction forces, GRFs.
and we've looked at a bunch of stuff, and the mission really is simple. Understand how the best players use the literal ground under their feet to, create that explosive speed.
Right.
It's not some like super complex physics just for labs. It's basic Newton. You push down on the earth.
And it pushes back, equal and opposite.
Exactly. That pushback is the GRF. That's what we're talking about.
So it's way more than just like standing there and turning. It's active. You're using the ground against it.
Precisely. Creating leverage. And that force, it travels up the body, through the kinetic chain, feet, legs, hips, torso.
And that dictates everything, the rotation, the speed.
Well, it dictates the quality and the timing of those movements. And look, just generating force isn't the magic bullet. It's the timing. That's what coaches call the kinematic sequence.
Ah, the sequence. Okay.
Yeah, it's the specific order, the timing of how fast each body part peaks in speed, starting right from the ground.
Okay, let's unpack that then. The sources seem to identify 4 main types of these ground forces. We kind of need to know what they are before we talk about timing them, right?
Makes sense. Yeah, we can group them by, the direction they act in. So first up, you've got lateral force.
Okay.
This is pure side-to-side, horizontal. It's the energy you use to shift your mass from your trail side, so right foot for a righty, over towards the target. It's really what kicks off the downswing.
That initial move, getting things going forward.
Exactly, that momentum transfer. Then second, you have vertical force. People sometimes call it the jump force.
Right, because you see players kind of leap through impact.
Yeah, that's it. It's the up and down pushback. When you press down hard, the ground pushes you up. That intentional upward drive helps accelerate the club up and forward, especially through impact.
Okay, side to side, up and down. Those feel pretty intuitive. But then there's the rotation, the twisting part. And you mentioned there are actually 2 different types of torque.
That's right, yeah. This is where it gets a little more nuanced. Third is frontal plane torque.
Yeah.
Sometimes we call it rock and roll.
Rock and roll, like rolling your feet.
Sort of, yeah. It's that controlled side-to-side force you get by slightly rolling your feet inward and outward, kind of like onto the instep and outstep.
Okay, let's pause there for a sec. Rock and roll sounds, well, it sounds kind of minor, like more about staying balanced than generating massive power. Is that fair?
It seems that way, but it's actually super important. It's deceptive. It's not raw power itself, but it's critical leverage. Think of it as maximizing your connection, your grip with the ground. It's the micro adjustment that stops your foot sliding sideways when you start to really rotate hard later. It creates the anchor. If you slip even a tiny bit, you bleed rotational speed. Rock and roll locks you down.
Got it. So it stabilizes the platform.
Exactly.
So the next force can really do the heavy lifting.
Precisely. And that heavy lifting is number 4. Horizontal plane torque. We usually just call it the twist.
And the big one.
Yeah, this is the pure rotational stuff. The force applied between your feet twisting against the ground and your hips firing around. This is the engine for unwinding the body super fast. That's your club head speed generator.
Okay. This is where, our sources really light things up. It's not just having these 4 forces. It's hitting them in a very specific order, like micro-timed. And apparently this sequence is what separates the absolute best from everyone else.
It really is. And what's fascinating, you look at amateur data, almost everyone tries to do all 4 things, but they get the order scrambled.
And that kills the efficiency.
Totally. The elite players, they stick to this non-negotiable order. It lets them load up power efficiently and then just unleash it.
All right, let's walk through it step by step. What's the elite sequence?
Okay, step 1. It always starts with the shift. Got to move that pressure laterally first. Trail side to lead side. Get things moving towards the target. That's job number 1.
Shift first. Then what? What are the feet doing right after that shift starts?
Right. Then comes the stabilizing force. The rock and roll. As you're shifting, the feet subtly roll to secure that platform. Think of it like bracing yourself for the power move that's coming.
Okay, so shift is happening, feet are bracing. Then comes the big rotation, the twist.
Yes. Step 3 is the twist. That horizontal plane torque kicks in. Hips rotate hard, but this is crucial, the upper body, shoulders especially, Holds back just a fraction longer.
Holds back. Wait, why delay? If you want speed, wouldn't you want everything turning together like right away? That feels faster.
But that's the classic mistake, you see. That's what so many amateurs do. If you twist too early, before that shift is done and the lead leg is ready to brace, you just leak energy everywhere.
How so?
Your force kind of spins around you instead of being channeled up the body properly. By delaying the upper body relative to the hips, you create separation, like stretching a rubber band. That's stored elastic energy. That's the whip effect.
Ah, the stretch shorten cycle.
Exactly. You build that tension and then release it incredibly fast. Twist too early, you never load the sprung.
Okay, that makes sense. So, shift, rock and roll, twist with that delay.
Yeah.
What's the final piece?
The final step is the jump. That vertical push-off, using the vertical force we talked about. It's the last injection of speed, maximizing club head velocity right through impact and just after.
Wow.
That sequence, shift, rock and roll, twist, jump that ensures power, builds up stage by stage, and releases at the perfect moment.
It really sounds like a perfect chain reaction when done right.
It is.
But, okay, if the pros have this dialed in, why do so many amateur swings just fall apart? The sources mention specific sequencing errors.
Oh, absolutely. The number one killer, the thing we see constantly in pressure data from amateurs, is engaging the twist before the shift is really established.
So rotating right from the top.
Yeah, rotating hard before they've properly moved their weight forward.
And what does that do mechanically? What's the result?
It's pretty catastrophic for efficiency. Instead of using the ground to push up and forward, their weight kind of hangs back, they stall on their trail foot, and just spin out.
Right.
That usually leads to a steep downswing, path cutting across the ball, weak contact, slices, blocks, because the weight never got forward and the club can't shallow out properly.
So they end up trying to muscle it with their arms and shoulders instead of pushing off the ground.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. And another big one is just not using the lead foot properly.
Yeah.
The left foot for a righty. If that leg is just passive, doesn't do its job.
The whole sequence breaks down.
Completely. You get poor rotation, inconsistent strikes, or that really common fault, early extension, where the hips thrust towards the ball and the upper body stands up too soon.
Okay, this leads perfectly into that coaching analogy our sources brought up, making it more tangible, thinking of the feet as pedals, gas and brake.
Yeah, it's a really useful way to picture the timing. So the right foot, your trail foot, acts like the first gas pedal.
Okay.
You use it right at the start of the downswing to push kind of aggressively towards the target.
Yeah.
That drives the shift.
Push off the right foot to get moving left. Got it. And the left foot, the lead foot, that one's doing double duty.
It's absolutely critical. It has to be both the brake and the gas.
Brake and gas. How?
Okay, so first, it acts as the brake. It has to stop that strong lateral movement, the shift. You need to put the brakes on that sideways momentum.
Why stop it?
Because that's how you transfer the energy upwards. You stop the sideways motion so you can convert it into rotation and vertical lift. So it breaks the shift. And then almost instantly, it switches roles and becomes the gas again. It powers the final rotation, the twist, and that vertical push the jump.
Wow, so that split-second transition on the lead foot, stop the slide, and immediately power the rotation and jump. That's the heart of it.
That is the engine of the modern powerful golf swing.
Yes.
Nailing that, timing improves speed, improves direction, and really importantly, it takes stress off the lower back.
How so?
Because the forces get channeled efficiently through your big leg muscles, your glutes, your core, not torquing your spine inappropriately.
Right. Speaking of the lower back, let's like practical stuff and safety. These forces are invisible, right? So how do golfers actually train this stuff? How do they measure it?
Well, the tech has come a long way. Force plates are kind of revolutionary here. Training mostly uses force plates or pressure mats. You stand on them, swing, and they measure exactly how you're interacting with the ground.
What do they show you?
Two key things, mainly your pressure traceau, where your weight is and how it moves. And second, the timing of your peak forces. Like when does your vertical force spike compared to your rotational torque?
So coaches aren't just eyeballing it anymore. They have data.
Exactly, hard data. And we often use that with 3D motion capture systems. They measure your body movements precisely, integrate it with the force plate data, and you can see the exact timing and efficiency of that shift, rock, twist, jump sequence.
And the training, is it just hitting balls on a force plate?
Sometimes. But it's more about targeted drills, specific sequencing drills designed to retrain your body's pattern, basically teaching you, okay, hit the brake before you slam the rotational gas pedal. Feel the sequence.
Which brings us back around to injury prevention. You mentioned the lower back. This is huge, especially for guys swinging it fast. If that sequence gets messed up, Where does the force go wrong? Does it literally just wrench the spine?
It's a really bad transfer failure. And yeah, it's critical for spine health. If you try to twist hard, generate that massive horizontal torque without first setting that stable brake with your lead leg, well, the force has to go somewhere.
And it goes into the spine.
Often, yeah. It goes up the chain inefficiently. You end up putting huge rotational and compressive loads onto your spine while it's already moving, maybe even side bending.
Ouch. Which part usually takes the hit?
Typically, it's the lower lumbar spine.
Mm-hmm.
The L4, L5 discs are particularly vulnerable. You combine that excessive side bend some players get with twisting too early. That creates enormous shear and compression. Not good.
We've seen pros sidelined by back issues, like Will Zalatoris was mentioned.
Exactly. High swing speed, maybe some small inefficiency in the sequence under pressure. It can lead to recurring problems. But a well-sequenced swing, by its very nature, channels that energy through the big muscles, hips, glutes, legs, core, much more safely. It distributes the load.
So it all ties together. Power, consistency, safety. It comes back to using the ground correctly. The best players aren't just stronger or faster in a vacuum. They're smarter about physics. They're using Newton's third law way better than the rest of us. It really is the invisible engine.
That's the perfect summary. GRFs are that hidden engine. Power, consistency, safety. Elite players get more speed not just by swinging harder, but by leveraging the ground more efficiently, more effectively, and ultimately more safely.
So for you listening, if you feel like you've hit a plateau, if you want more power, more control, maybe stop obsessing just over the club head for a minute.
Yeah.
Think about your feet. Think about that sequence. Shift, rock, twist, jump. Learn to use the ground better.
Master the ground, you're on your way to mastering the swing. Simple as that, really.
Which leads us to our final thought for you to chew on. If the modern golf swing relies so heavily on using that lead leg as a brake to stop sideways motion before you explode rotationally, what other sports rely just as crucially on that same principle, stopping linear force braking to generate massive power upwards or forwards?
Good question. Think about that kinetic chain, that brake then gas mechanism in other athletic movements. Where else do you see it?
We'll leave you with that physics puzzle. Until next time, on the deep dive.
See you then.